Welcome back to Lisa Sparkles Does Vlogmas Day 22. It's December 22nd and today we're going to be making Scandinavian fabric stars. This is Star Wars fabric that I had left over from when I made a bunch of face masks during COVID, and I thought what better use to use up some of my old scrap yarn is to make these Scandinavian stars that will then hang on your Christmas tree. So all you need is some fabric, scrap or otherwise, a little bit of starch, cutting utensils, and an iron, and let's go make some Scandinavian fabric stars. All right, for this project you will need a standard issue household iron, scissors, doesn't have to have unicorns on it, but it helps, tweezers or some kind of, this is for my Cricut, it's a weeding tool, either one of those. You don't have to have those. They help. And some starch. So start with fabric strips that are, for the size I'm making, is 3 by 12. Spray your strips with the starch and press them. These are still a little damp. So spray, starch, press. The starch will help during the folding process. Makes it a lot easier to crease. Okay, so once you have your strips pressed, starched, then you press them again in half. Okay, then open it up, press almost to that fold. You just want to get the fold a little, when we fold it back over. That's why you do it that way. I like to flip mine. Makes it a little bit easier. Okay, and then just fold that in half. So do that for all 4 pieces. Now that you have all 4 pieces pressed, fold them in half, but not quite half. Leave a little bit of, maybe about 1 inch of a tail. And again, I press them with the heat, and I try to match them up so they'll all be about the same size, as close as you can get to the same size. Alright, so now you can turn your iron off. I sometimes will use the residual heat from the press to press this as I'm doing this. Okay, so if you're doing what I'm doing with the alternating colors, you want to have them start in directly opposite of each other, like this. So you also want to have the short ends on the top, and you want to have the folds going clockwise. So you have 1 fold here, 1 fold here, 1 fold here, and 1 fold here. Okay, so to start the star, you put 1 strip inside the fold like this. Then you put this strip inside the fold like this. this one will go in here, and then this one will go in here. Okay, so once you have that set up, you can just start pull the strips up to tighten and make a square in the center. So that's your square in your center. And I will press it just to keep it down, give it another tug, and make sure that it's tight. Okay, so now flip it over, and you should have the long ends on the top. So take one long end and go counterclockwise, pulling the one long end down, and then pull it over, pull it up, and then pull it over. Now what you need to do here is it needs to go under this thing right here. So that's when these come in handy. You can shove it in through there and then pull it tight. So you get tight, 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 tight. Okay, tight. Make sure everything's good and secure. All right, now we're gonna make the starred points. You can start anywhere, but what you do is you make a diagonal, and this is where I use the residual heat. Actually, you want to make sure that you've got a tuck that you can tuck it in, because I've done these a couple of times, and sometimes I get the wrong side. So that's the right side. So then fold this down here, press it, and then you'll fold that in half. You don't have to press these. I just like to use the residual heat from the thing. So at this point, you can choose whether or not you want to cut this off and stuff it in, or stuff it in and then cut it off. It doesn't really matter. Just a preference. My preference is to cut it about halfway through that square and do that, and then take this and shove it down in there. That's just how I like to do it. I found this is the way I prefer to work it, and then you shove that in there and pull that side tight. So there you go. All right, so that's your first point. Now your next point needs to go in opposite direction. So you want to make sure this is not going in the same direction. So you want to go up for this one. So you flip it over. You got your little pocket there. Flip it over. Fold it in half. And then you've got enough there to cut. I nicked another one, so make sure if you're going to do it this way, make sure you've cleared that side, because like I said, I nicked the other one. And then just shove it down in that little pocket. And once you do these a couple of them, you'll get the hang of it. The first couple of ones I did, I was totally lost on the star points. But if you just remember, the back of the point they need to be against each other. Kind of like a star on a quilt. If you know anything about the quilting stars, they kind of look like that. And you can also stick a little fabric glue down in this point if you don't feel like it's secure. I keep tightening it up as I go, but eventually you're going to run out of tabs to pull. Okay, so now you've got these two here. So this one needs to go that way. So you want to have the peak and that in the middle, and these on the outside. That's how I'm remembering it. And then my iron is getting cold, but see, I screwed up. I got the wrong side. So started on the wrong side. I was right with the direction, just wrong side of this thing. So you got to make sure you've got that tag or that little thing that you can shove your thing down in. So cut that. I had to take one apart. I mean, if you screw up, it's fixable. As long as you don't glue it down, I guess. This one's being a pain in the... This fabric's not as hefty as the Marshall fabric. The Marshall fabric's got all that printing on it, and it's really thick, and it took that starch very well. It's almost like cardstock. This is still kind of flimsy and light, even with the starch on it, because it was a cheap. This was when I made the masks, this was the inside of the mask. All right, so there you go. So you just continue around doing that. So you make sure that you got the right, see this one doesn't have it, so this is, you're gonna have to do this one this way. Flip it over, there's the pocket. Make sure you don't cut the other part. Oh, Marco got shoved in. I think he's going to get shoved in there. I was hoping you could see Marco. Oh well. So see, this side's not the pocket. See, this will be opposite. Flip it. And there's the pocket. Flip it. Fold it. Cut it. And shove it. Take this star and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Alright. So after you do a few of them, you can kind of see how the pattern sets up. So you always have that, you have the point going toward the middle. You make sure this is probably not the right side because that's got the, yeah, see? So you have to flip this one over. Right direction, wrong pocket. Flip it. Flip it. This one's not folded well. I didn't fold that one very well. Let's see if I can fold that a little bit better. Okay. So you go direction. Flip it over that direction. There's the pocket. Cut it. Cut the tail off of it. And then shove it in there. I find that the tweezers, I don't care so much for the tweezers. These are weird. These are quilting tweezers, but I got them for my Happy Planner. I don't like how they, you know, I don't know. So mostly I'm just using them to shove down in here. That's why you could use this as well. That's a weeding thing I got at the Dollar Tree. It's for my Cricut. Alright, so this one, that's probably going to be the right side. So flip it over. Flip it over again. There's the pocket. Fold it down. Cut the tip off of it. And then stuff it down in there. Stuff it. Stuff it good. Alright, we got our last one right here. So it's going to have to flip over. No, it's fine. It's the right way. So up. Over. You know, none of the Marcos show. That really sucks. Flip. Yeah, because that's Marco there. And then shove it in there. And like I said, you could put like a dollop of fabric glue down in each one and make them more secure. But there you go. There you go. All right, so I made a few more of these. This one had a corgi fabric. You can't really see the corgis. I just had the one there. This was the Star Wars one that I made earlier. The Marshall one. And the dragonfly. I made one. This was dragonfly fabric that I used to make COVID masks back in 2020, and my mom liked the color blue and she liked dragonflies, so I made her one with this mask, this fabric. I ended up putting some gold floss. This was embroidery floss. I couldn't find the kind I wanted, so I'll put those on so I can hang them on the tree. So, His Majesty. So I'm gonna add them to my Christmas tree. Except for this one, I haven't put a thing on that one yet. Actually, this one I'm gonna give away, so it's not gonna go. The Marshall one. I wish I had a Tennessee. I don't have any Tennessee fabric. I only had Marshall fabric, so. I wish I had more of the Marco on there, the logo, Marco logo, but you didn't get to see as much of them. Alright, so that's Vlogmas day 23? No, 20. 22. Vlogmas 22. Day 22. I want to thank everyone who watched, and I hope to continue seeing you for the rest of Vlogmas if I finish it, because I've got 3 more things to do. And in the new year, next week is going to be a lot about what I'm planning to do with the channel for 2023. So I hope you stay tuned and watch those videos as well. So as always, thanks for watching, and give a like or a thumbs up and consider subscribing so I can hit my 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 hours of watch time so that I can eventually monetize this channel. So again, thanks for watching, and have a happy December 22nd. Is it working? It's working. It's upside down, but it's working.